I worked as a project manager at a mid-sized company.
My wife, Laura, worked in marketing. We had been married for 7 years and together for 9. We didn't have children yet, but we always talked about having them soon. We lived in a small but comfortable apartment in the city. From the outside, our life looked normal, maybe even enviable. Laura was beautiful, smart, and ambitious. She was the kind of person who always seemed to have everything under control. I admired that about her. She handled most of the bills, planned our trips, and even reminded me about important dates. I trusted her completely, maybe too much. I stopped paying attention to the small things. I stopped asking questions. The first time I felt something was off, it was small, almost nothing. Laura started coming home later than usual. At first, it was just once or twice a week. She would say she had client meetings or last-minute presentations. I believed her. Why wouldn't I? She had always been dedicated to her job. But then it became more frequent. Sometimes she wouldn't come home until after midnight. When I asked her about it, she would smile and say, "You know how it is. Work is crazy right now." She would kiss me on the cheek and go straight to the shower. I told myself I was being insecure. Everyone has busy periods at work. The second thing I noticed was her phone. Laura used to be careless with it. She would leave it on the table or the couch without a second thought. But over the past year, that changed. She started keeping it with her at all times. Even when she went to the bathroom, she would take it with her. If I ever picked it up, even just to check the time, she would quickly take it back. One night, I jokingly said, "What are you hiding in there?" She laughed and said, "Nothing, just work stuff." But something in her eyes made me uncomfortable. I pushed the feeling down. I didn't want to be that kind of husband, the jealous, controlling type. She started canceling plans at the last minute. We had tickets to a concert once, something she had been excited about for weeks. On the day of the show, she called me from work.
Sorry, I have some work to do, so I won't be able to come.
I went alone. When I came home, she was already asleep. The next morning, she acted like nothing had happened. Another time, she told me she was going on a work trip to another city for 3 days. When she came back, I noticed she didn't have any of the usual things she brought from trips. No local snacks, no small gifts, nothing. When I asked her about it, she said she was too busy to go out. That didn't sound like her at all. I started feeling uneasy, but I still didn't have any real proof. I didn't want to accuse her of anything without evidence, so I stayed quiet and watched. The breaking point came on a random Thursday. Laura had gone out for what she called a team dinner. She said she would be back by 10. At 11:30, she still wasn't home. I tried calling her, but her phone went straight to voicemail. I started to worry. Around midnight, I heard the front door open. She walked in looking tired but not drunk. She smiled when she saw me and said, "Sorry, the dinner ran late." I nodded and didn't say much, but something felt wrong. I stood there in the kitchen, holding the phone, not knowing what to do. Part of me wanted to confront her right then, but another part of me was scared of what I might find out. I put the phone back exactly where I found it and went to bed. I didn't sleep at all that night. The next morning, after Laura left for work, I took the second phone and tried to unlock it again. I tried her birthday, my birthday, our anniversary. Nothing worked. Then I tried a date I almost forgot, the day we got engaged. The phone unlocked. What I found inside broke something inside me. There were thousands of messages between Laura and this person named Alex. They had been talking for almost 3 years. Not just friendly conversations. They were in a full relationship. They talked about meeting in hotels. They sent each other photos. They even planned weekends away together. She had told Alex that she was single. She told him she lived alone. She had created an entire fake version of her life for him. I sat on the kitchen floor and read through the messages for over 2 hours. My hands were shaking. I felt like I was going to throw up. Every time I thought I had seen the worst, there was something worse. She had been living a double life, and I had no idea. I didn't confront her that day. I needed time to process everything. I took screenshots of the messages and saved them. I also checked our bank statements and noticed she had been withdrawing large amounts of cash regularly. Money that didn't match our usual expenses. Over the next few weeks, I became obsessed with finding out the truth. I followed her a few times. I saw her meet Alex at restaurants, at hotels, even at a park once. They looked happy together, like a real couple. I felt like a stranger in my own life. When I finally confronted her, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. I showed her the phone. I showed her the messages. I showed her the photos I had taken. At first, she tried to deny everything. Then she started crying. She said it was a mistake. She said she still loved me. But I knew that wasn't true. You don't build a whole other life with someone if it's just a mistake. She told me Alex didn't know she was married. She had been lying to both of us. I asked her how she could do this for 3 years. She didn't have a real answer. She just kept saying she was sorry. I moved out 2 weeks later. I couldn't stay in that apartment anymore. Everything in it reminded me of the lies. I stayed with a friend while I figured out what to do next. The divorce was painful. Not because I wanted to stay married, but because it forced me to accept that the last 7 years of my life had been built on something false. I kept asking myself the same questions over and over. How did I not see it? Was any of it real? Did she ever actually love me? It's been almost a year since everything came out. Some days are still hard. I still have moments where I feel stupid for not noticing sooner. I still wonder what else she lied about that I never discovered. When something feels off, it usually is. Trust is important in a relationship, but so is paying attention. Love shouldn't make you ignore your instincts. And if someone is willing to lie to you for years, they don't deserve your trust, no matter how much you love them. Laura didn't just cheat on me. She built an entire second life while pretending to live ours. And the worst part is, I probably would have never known if I hadn't found that second phone. Sometimes I still think about those 7 years. Were they real? Or was I just living inside her lie the whole time? I don't think I'll ever fully know the answer. But I do know this. I will never again ignore the feeling that something is wrong. And I will never again let someone make me doubt my own reality just because I want to believe them. Some lies are too big to forgive, and some truths are too painful to ignore.